This video describes how to upgrade your custom ASP applications that were made in comm or ADO to call RBOs in version 4X to version 5.2.0 without changing any code by utilizing the comm wrapper. Before watching this video and performing the steps in it, you need to have deployed the RBO server. This process was demonstrated in the following videos. Click the video below to watch it before continuing with this video. To begin, open Web Designer. Web Designer now utilizes a comm wrapper, which allows you to run ASP applications without changing any older code. The comm wrapper can be used as a stopgap implementation that provides you time to update your applications from classic ASP with comm to ASP.NET, which is fully supported with Microsoft. First, we'll create a new server and connect to it. Double-click localhost. Right now, I am specifying my operating system credentials to connect to my U2 server. And let's just verify that the RBDefn's properties show that the account path is pointing to the correct 5.2.0 installation. Looks good. If your account wasn't added automatically, you can add it now. Right-click Accounts and select New U2 Account. Enter a name for the account and its path. You can leave the other options set as default unless your site requires something different. I now have Upgrade Demo in the Accounts section. If you want to make sure that the references to the RBDefn account are changed to the new version, you can open a command prompt and check spider.version. This command tells you the version information for your installation of WebDE. The INI files need to be configured to your account. Let's start with the javascheduler.ini file. In Web Designer, select Tools, Edit Local Java Scheduler Configuration, and select the javascheduler.ini file. Double-click Default. Change the user and password fields to your credentials. Verify the RBDefn account path is pointing to the correct location. Click Test Connection Settings. If your connection is successful, click Finish. Now we're going to insert our account. Right-click anywhere in the javascheduler.ini file and select Insert Account. Enter in the correct information for all the fields and test the connection. Set the minimum and maximum number of connections. This is the same as the number of responders at 4x. Click Finish and then click the Save icon. Expand your account, right-click U2 WebDE elements and select Manage Java Scheduler. Type in your WebDE user credentials. By default, this is RBadmin and Redback. The Java Scheduler opens in the pane in the right. Click Start. The Java Scheduler is now running and sessions are available for your application account. Now that the javascheduler.ini file is configured, let's configure the rgw5.ini file. Select Tools, Edit Gateway Configuration, and select rgw5.ini file. Right-click anywhere in the file and select Insert Account. Enter the account name exactly as you entered it in the javascheduler.ini file. If the account names are different, the request will not be routed correctly. For the connection setting, select Use Web Shares. The default port of 7070 is fine. Set the minimum and maximum number of connections. This is different from 4x. In 5.2.0, you define a minimum and maximum number of connections to the Java scheduler that you want your WebDE client, redpages.net, and the comm wrapper to use. These connections are persistent and will be open between your client and the Java scheduler. Click Finish and then click the Save icon. With the INI files configured, we can now register the comm wrapper in the .NET framework. The comm wrapper requires version 4 of the .NET framework. You need to change this .NET framework version of your application pools to version 4.0. In the installation folder in the RGW directory, the Redpages ccw setup.bat script registers the comm wrapper and it detects whether your computer is 64-bit. If your computer is 64-bit, as specified in the IIS Manager Advanced Settings, the script will install the comm wrapper into the 64-bit .NET framework and your applications will work. If you don't change anything to the script and run it with your computer configured to 32-bit, the script will install as 64-bit, causing your ASP applications to not work. At this point, you have two choices because the architecture must match. Change the Enable 32-bit application settings from true to false and everything will run as 64-bit, or you can modify the setup script and register the COM wrapper into the 32-bit .NET framework. You need to ask yourself whether you're running the 32-bit application only because you're running redpages.dll or because you have other applications outside of WebDE that require you to run in 32-bit mode, such as a PHP extension. In the latter case, you don't want to change the setting from true to false because it will impact your outside applications. For the purpose of this video, I will modify the setup script to be registered for 32-bit so I can keep my computer running with 32-bit applications enabled. Because it's good practice, I'm going to create a backup version of this script just in case I mess up something. Open Redpages ccw setup.bat in a text editor. Notice lines 20 through 25. This section is saying that if the script finds 64-bit, it'll use 64-bit, or else use the standard framework. Because we want to use the 32-bit instead, let's delete the if defined section. We'll need to remove this other paren too. Save the file. Open a command prompt to run the script. A warning appears describing that you are editing the registry. Click Yes to accept. You have now successfully registered your installation as a 32-bit application. Now we can test that our applications are working. My application is in my local host, so I'm going to open a web browser and point to my localhost/rbexample virtual directory. In my application, I'm going to make a call to the database and retrieve data from the rbexamples account. To demonstrate this upgrade process, I used the rbexamples account and ASP application delivered with version 4x, but renamed it to Upgrade Demo and updated the files. Now you're able to use your older applications in the current version of WebDE without changing any code.